Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Lord have mercy, like I'm always sitting here with a brush because shit happens, innit? But, so I'm going to be telling you guys about the time my best friend died. In primary school, I hope I don't cry. I don't think I'll cry because I feel like I've gotten to a point where I can talk about it and feel not positive, but because like I know she's always with me, but I just feel like easy. I don't know. Anyways, I don't know. I just feel like now that I'm 20, like she would have been 20 this year, and it's just like I don't know. It's just weird. It's really weird. It's really weird. But I don't want this to be a depressing video. I don't know. But anyways, yeah. So I was how old was I? I think 8 or 9. I think I was 9 actually. I was 9 turning 10. Yeah. I think I was 9 turning 10 because I had a birthday party at Quasars. Is it Quasars? That laser thingy. And I had an invitation for her, but then we beefed, so I scribbled out her name and wrote someone else's name, and then I wrote out another invitation for her, and obviously she passed away, so I couldn't give her an invitation. Yeah, so guys, I'm fine. I'm just trying to remember things. I don't really want to remember it, but I don't know. Guys, look, when I feel some type of way, I get really awkward, so I'm sorry. But yeah, so she died when I was 8. I can remember we were the only black girls in the school because there was another girl, but she moved to Ghana. So it was just me and her, and like she was just such a peacemaker. Like I was just not a chatty patty. I was just like a brat. Like I was rude to everyone in it, but with her it was just like she always wanted everyone to just be peaceful and have peace and be happy. And like whenever someone was beefing or like the girls were beefing, everyone would go off into their own little squads, and we would kind of go to her and give her a message to go and tell the other girls. And I remember we had a talent show, and we were singing Stick With You by Pussycat Dolls, and she was meant to be in it, and like we were like practicing with her and everything, but then obviously the week after, it happened on a... Guys, sorry, I have a cold, so if I'm sniffing, I'm not crying, like I'm good. If I feel like I'm gonna cry, I'm gonna cut off the video and just start again. But it happened on a Friday, so the talent show was on a Friday, and she passed away on a Tuesday, I think it was. But yeah, she was such like a lovely spirit, like a lovely soul and everything, and like she just wanted everyone to just be happy, and she was so smiley and like, oh god, like I'll always, like I never want to forget her, like I never want to forget her energy because she was just full of positivity. And her younger sister looks exactly like her, which scares the shit out of me sometimes. I'm like, oh my god, you look just like your sister. And I'm just so glad like I have a younger sister. She's probably like the only girl in year 9 I have it on my Snapchat, because I'm just like, yo, like whenever you need someone, I'm here for you. Like look at me as if I'm your big sis in it. Like her sister's just beautiful, like, and that's what I picture my best friend to look like if she was, you know what I mean? Like I knew she was gonna be beautiful, but her sister kind of reminds me of her like all the time when she posts snaps and like when I see her and everything. So, but yeah, so she passed away in November, and sorry, oh god, I don't know, like, I don't know, I just feel I haven't talked about it in ages. I don't know why I'm talking about it. So she basically, it was, I can't remember what day it was. I think it was a Tuesday. I think. Yeah, it was a Tuesday, the day she died. And, no, so a week before that, she was complaining of headaches to me. Like, she was always telling me she had headaches. And I was like, oh, like, obviously, what? I just do paracetamol in it. So I was just like, take paracetamol, like, you'll be okay. Like, take some paracetamol. Just try and rest. And I remember her telling me she felt sick and she had a few days off school because she wasn't feeling well. And I remember she was going to, like, her doctor and everything, and they were just, like, giving her medicine. They were like, oh, yeah, you'll be fine. Like, just giving her medicine or whatever. And, so, yeah, she was just having really, really bad migraines and headaches. And I remember it was on Tuesday, and we had a supply teacher. And I think we were colouring in, and we were playing music. And then my actual teacher, and we had like an assistant teacher as well, they came in the room, and my head teacher came in the room, and they stopped the music, and they were like, because we had 2 classrooms. We had like one classroom for like reading time, so it was literally just a carpet, and then it was full of books everywhere, and another classroom for actually teaching, like learning, whatever. So they were like, oh, guys, my head teacher was just like, guys, can you come into the other room? So then we were like, right, cool, we'll come into the other room, whatever. And I was just like, oh, I'm gonna sneeze. Guys, oh my god, yo. I sneezed and I burped. I thought I was gonna be sick. Oh my god. But yeah, my head teacher was just like, yo, can everyone come into the other room? And I was just kind of looking at her. Someone's my teacher and my assistant teacher, they were bare like sniffing and that, but I was thinking, what's going you see how I'm hella dopey, yeah? But obviously no one would ever think that. Like, I was only like 9. Like, I would never ever think that, oh yeah, my best friend died. Like, I would never think death. So I was just looking at people like, why are you my best sniffing? Like, but I think we had a supply teacher because of that, because my teacher was very upset. So we had a supply teacher, and then yes, I think that's the reason why. Because I don't actually know why we had a supply teacher. So she took us to the other room now, and we sat down, and she was bare like, yeah, you know, Jessica's not here right now. I was kind of like, okay. Like, she was talking, and as she was describing it, my heart was kind of racing, because I was thinking, what's going on? I was gonna scream, like, can someone just spill it out, like, what's going on? And then, like, I turned around and I just saw my teacher just cry, like, burst out crying. And I was thinking, obviously, I still never thought death. Like, death never ever came to my head. That was not at all. Like, I never thought death. I just thought this girl going to, like, I don't even know. Like, when they said her name, I was still thinking, okay, she's not here. And, like, and they were just like, yeah. My teacher was like, yeah, she's not here. She's been complaining of headaches a lot. And I was just, in my head, I was thinking, like, yeah. And then my head teacher was just like, she was throwing up this morning. She was throwing up blood, and they took her to the hospital, and she passed away at the hospital. She died. Like, she's gone. And I was like, I was just like, what? I was like, excuse me? Like, huh? And then, but obviously, I literally just stared at my head teacher, like, and then, like, people just instantly burst out crying, but I can't cry, like, that. Like, obviously, eventually, I'll burst out crying, but when I first hear news, I don't cry. Like, I'm in shock. So it takes me a lot to process it, and when I process it and deep it, I cry. Like, even when I was going through, like, my first heartbreak or whatever, it's like, it happened, and I deeped it, and I was like, rah, what's going on? And I called my girl, and I was on the phone to my girl for like an hour, and I was like, I'm good, I'm fine. And then as soon as I came off the phone, I deeped it, and I sat down in my room, and I just burst out crying. So it's like, things like that takes me a lot of time to kind of process everything. So I was just staring like, huh? And they were like, yeah, like, she passed away, and they found out she had a brain tumour. I was just like, bro, like, why couldn't they find this out when she was alive? The amount of times she used to come up to me and complain she had a headache, and I felt bad because even me, I felt like I could have done something to help her, but I was 9, like there was nothing I could do that I could have done to help her. There was absolutely nothing. So I felt bad because it's like she used to come to me and tell me all the time, and I was just like, oh, just take paracetamol, you'll be fine. Like I never knew she was gonna die. Like, do you know what I mean? And everyone was just crying around me, and obviously there were some people who weren't close to her who didn't really cry. So I think my head teacher was kind of reading them books, and then there was like another side where we were all just crying, and I was just literally sitting down. Like I remember there was a picture of her on the wall, and everyone went up to that picture and was just touching it, and we were just crying, and I just looked at the picture and I was just quiet, and I was hugging everyone who was crying, and I was just in shock. Like I was like, oh my god, like what? Like I was just baffled, like I was so confused. And then yeah, I remember my brother was in the year above. Whatever age you are in year 5, my brother was in year, was I in year 5 or year 4? I can't remember how old. But yeah, I think it was my 10th birthday. So my brother was in the year above. I think he was in his last year, so year 6, and because his classroom was right next to the office, so he said he heard screaming. So I think the same day there, her parents must have come into the school and told them. And my brother said he heard loads of screaming, but he didn't know who it was. And basically they went classroom by classroom to tell them that obviously she passed away, but they came to our classroom last because she was in our year. And yeah, so it happened, and we were just sitting down. I was sitting down for ages, and obviously I went home with my brother, and my brother waited for me with his friend. I had the maddest pins and needles right now, I'm trying not to speak. And my brother waited with me with, I think, 2 of his friends. And then, like, I sat down. I still wasn't crying at this point. And then as soon as I saw my brother, I just ran to him and burst out crying. And I remember they gave us a letter to take home to say that she's passed away. Oh my god, I have the maddest cramps right now. I have the maddest pins and needles right now. But they gave us a letter home to tell our parents that she's passed away. And I remember just running to my brother and just bursting out crying and just hugging him. Like I felt like I was gonna fall. Like, and him and his friends were just hugging me. Like, yo, like I got you. Like you'll be fine. And my family, my mum and dad, like knew them because obviously we were the only black girls. So I don't know, black people just have that special connection when they see each other, I guess. So I got home on the bus, and I'm not really the type to cry in public, so I was trying to hold back my tears. And I got home and I couldn't sleep in my room because obviously I sleep by myself. I've always slept in this room. I couldn't sleep in my room for like 4 or 5 months. Like I just slept with my brothers. So basically I had a bunk bed, and I don't know if I had this bed at the time. I don't think so. I don't know, I can't remember. But I had a bed. Basically my mattress I basically put in my brother's room. They have a massive room. They had a bunk bed, so I slept on the floor in their room, and we're all very close, so I don't really care. So I got home and I showed my mum the letter because she went to work. She came back from work and she was like, what's wrong? I showed her and she was like, what? Like she was shocked. Like she was very shocked. I showed my dad. My dad was like, what the hell? Like what? And like I remember my mum just like asking me for the whole day if I'm alright, and I was just like, oh, that was like the worst day of my life, for real. That was one of the worst days of my life. Like I just felt so numb and empty. Like oh man. Like it's so scary to think that like, not everyone lives, and the people you love will not be here forever, and it just scares the shit out of me that I will have to go through that again. As much as I try to not think about it, it's kind of like, not everyone lives forever, but I want everyone to live their full and best life. So it sucks, but like, it was the worst thing I've ever gone through, and it's kind of like, I've never been to her grave, but this year I definitely plan on going, just because I'm just scared, because it's like, the last time I saw her I was 9 and now I'm 20, and it's like, last time I saw her we were having fun and practicing for the talent show, and now it's like, she's in a grave. Like, it's just not it. It really isn't it. So the next day we went into school, and they brought in a counsellor. So I must have tweeted this, right? One thing the counsellor said will stick with me forever. She basically said that the next person I meet could be her in a different person's body. And that made me hate everyone. Like, for real, guys. When I tell you, she basically said, sorry, my nose is done up. She basically said that the next person I meet will be my best friend, but in a different person's body. So it could be someone like if I go to Sainsbury's, for example, and I meet someone and I become friends with them, it could be her. So from then on, I didn't talk to no one. I was a little rebel in school. I literally, that effed me up, and yeah, like, that really just effed me up. I was just like, what the hell? Like, how can you say that? And I was really bad. Like, I was never a smart kid, like, even in secondary school. Like, I'm not that smart. But in primary school, like, I was doing pretty well until that all happened, and then, like, my grades just went down. I remember going, parents, even my teachers was like, she's just different. Like, I remember I had a little therapy session with my school counsellor, and she was just like, what's wrong? And I was just laughing. I don't want to do this. Like, I remember we had a school play, and they got me to be some little shitty character. I'm like, bro, I ain't doing this. Like, the hell? But I, like, obviously back then, before, like, I was very calm, and, like, I was nice and polite. And then ever since all that happened, I was just like, bun everyone. Like, I'm not being nice to no one, blah, blah, blah. So shit did change. And yeah, so I remember we had an assembly about it. Someone's knocking on my door, but there's like 3 people in my gaff. So we had an assembly about it on a Friday. I think it was the next day. And we didn't have no lessons for a while, and they basically said if anyone wants anything, then whatever, like, there's counsellors in the school. And yeah, like, that was it really. But it did suck. It sucks. And like, I remember we had a book in the office that we could write down for our funeral so our parents could keep. And I went with my dad's, and I wrote a message, and my dad wrote a message. And her funeral came, and they told us we can go if we want. But I mean, obviously my mum and dad didn't really mind if I went or not, but I was just like, I'm scared. Like, I'm really scared. Like, I was really, really scared to go. So they were just like, don't force it. Yeah, I never went to a funeral. I've never been to a grave. I'm just scared to go. I'm just scared to go. Like, I don't know what I'll do or how I feel. Like, even talking about it, it's kind of like, I don't know, like, what am I meant to do, what am I meant to say? Like, am I meant to just, like, I don't know. But, like, I know she's with me. Like, I know she's with me. But, I don't know. It's just weird. It's weird. So, yeah, like, it just, like, I remember, like, obviously when we left primary school, I remember we had, like, a little courtyard. Not a courtyard, but there was, like, a bit in the middle of our primary school, and it had, like, flowers, and we put a bench there. There's, like, a memory of Jessica. And I remember someone, I think it was my best friend's brother, he went to the same second primary school as me, and he was just like, oh, I was like, oh, I must have been talking, I was like, yeah, there's a bench, is there still a bench in the middle? And he was like, yeah. And then he was like, oh my god, yeah, apparently a girl died and there's a ghost. I'm like, there's no ghost, she just passed away and she went to our primary school, like, there ain't no ghosts in there. But yeah, I think people kind of made up stories about it in their primary school. I'm not surprised, little kids love to chat. But I remember, like, after that I couldn't go nowhere by myself. Like, even going to the toilet in school, I was scared as hell. I couldn't go to the toilet by myself. I didn't sleep in my room for a very, very long time. There's so many things. And I remember seeing her dad, he took all of them to the park one day, and then I ran up to their dad and I just hugged him. I was like, oh my god, hi. They were like, hi. He was like, oh my god, like, he always recognises my face, and like whenever he sees me he just smiles, and he's just like, you alright? And I'm like, yeah, I'm good, how are you? You know, like, it's good. Like, I'm glad that he still remembers me, because my memory's ours, but I'll always remember him and their family, and like, I plan on going to their house just to see how they are. I know it's been years, but it's just like, and that really did set off, like, me being depressed for a very long time. Like, I was just really, and like, I always hid how I felt, so like, I was just very, very depressed, and I felt so shit for a very, very long time. Yeah, like, and it's like, as I've gotten older, I've kind of learned to control everything, and it's like, I've gotten better. Like, right now in my life, I'm very happy. Obviously, I'm talking about it now, and it's like pretty upsetting, but like, I haven't been depressed for a long time. And it's like, whatever decision I make, I'm always like, Jessica, what on earth should I do? Like, I feel like she speaks to me somehow, or she gives me advice somehow. I don't know how, but I feel like my gut feeling's her telling me things, and she's right, because she's always watching over me, so she knows what's going on. Do you know what I mean? But it's like, obviously I'm a big girl now, I'm 20, but it's like, the death of someone will always, it's a memory you can't erase, especially when you're very close to the person. Like, I don't know, people deal with death differently, so it could be different for other people, but with me, she's the closest person to me that's ever passed away, and I never, ever, ever, like, God forbid, experience it again. Because it sucks, it really does, and it really did affect me so bad. So bad. Yeah, but I just feel like, doctors failed her so much. Like, so much, because the amount of time she was coming up to me complaining of a headache, and she took so many days off school because of this headache, and they're saying, oh yeah, she's died. And it's like, when she's died, why is it when someone dies that's when you find out that you have something? Even me, when I had, obviously this is nothing compared to her, but when I had an operation, I had an ovarian cyst, and I used to get very painful period pains. Like, ever since I started my period, I would just have very, very, very bad pains. They said there's nothing. I'd done loads of scans. They said it was nothing. Nothing was there. And it's not up until I got admitted into hospital, they thought it was my appendix. And then I stayed in hospital for like 3 days. And then there was one day at night, I was screaming and crying in pain, and they were like, do you know what? the next day we're gonna do an emergency operation on you. Done an emergency operation. That's when I found the cyst ruptured. It was bigger than a tennis ball, and it ruptured on my ovary, and my appendix was fine. So all them scans are done, all them tests are done. It said nothing, and then that's when they operate on me, and then they see the cyst that was burst open on my ovary. So they took up my appendix and the cyst. So I feel like the doctors failed her, and doctors don't look and check for things, and I feel like even if I know she had a brain tumour, but it's like maybe she could have lived for a bit longer, or maybe she could still be alive, like I don't know, but maybe she could have, you know, lived a few more days. Like if the brain tumour was that bad to the point where she would have passed, maybe like I could have like said goodbye to her, maybe, like I don't know, but it is what it is, you know, life. It's like every time I hear that Stick With You song by Pussycat Dolls, I think that's the only thing that can make me instantly cry. I think now, I haven't heard it in years because I have no reason to play it, but back then, if I heard that song, I could cry on cue, bro. But yeah, so like she'll always live on, like her spirit will always live in me, like I always remember her, I'll never ever forget her. But life sucks, man. Life really does suck. But you know, I'm happy she's no longer in pain. She's in a better place now, innit? So, because this world is just evil. So I'm glad she's in a better place. So yeah, I'm happy. Like I'm fine. I'll be fine. I'm good. Like I'm good. It happened ages ago, but you know, things like that can affect someone for so long. But I know she's with me. You know, she's probably sitting next to me somewhere. But yeah, I'm gonna go and eat because I need to take medicine. Go and eat and go out. So I hope you guys enjoyed, I guess. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video.